Hi everyone, my name's Calum. I'm an implementation consultant here at E1. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a report to track Business Central customer payments against invoices using Popdock. Business Central, there's not a clear view into how a payment is applied across invoices, so what I'll show you will give your end users a much improved oversight of this process. We'll cover a number of features in Popdock, including query builder, drill downs, list restrictions, and this might give you some other ideas of how you can use Popdock to enhance Business Central for your users. So here we are on this report that I've named Cash Receipts Report. So what we have here is a list of all the payments from Business Central. This is coming from the customer ledger entry. And what I've done is added a custom detail here. You can see it on the bottom right. It's called Apply To. And what that does is once I click on it, it's going to show me the invoice that this payment was applied to. So we can see it here. This one's quite a straightforward example of just one payment being applied to a single invoice. But if this payment was applied across multiple invoices, we can see that all available here. So next, I'm just going to show you the back end of this to give you a bit more details on how we got here. So I just clicked up here on Edit List to show you the makeup of this list. So the first thing you're going to note is this is a query builder list. So the query builder tool in Popdock allows you to get table level access to Business Central. And this is really useful as it's going to give me access to all of the fields that are available on that table level in Business Central. So for this use case, if the customer has any custom fields or some of the advanced fields in Business Central that they wanted to pull through to the final report, Query Builder is going to give us access to all of those fields and make it very easy to get them in our final report. So you can see here as I scroll to the side, all the fields are available to me here. And this is quite a straightforward. Query Builder is just one table. We haven't got any joins to additional tables here, but still very useful just to ensure we're going to get the full access to all of the fields. So once I've added in the fields that I need, I just added one other restriction on this to just show me the payments here. So I've set the document type equal to payment. So this final report is just going to bring back all of the payments. The next part is the detail that I've added in. So that is the Apply To part on the bottom right of the report. So you can see here I have details set up, and this is based on another list which I've made in Query Builder called the DCL detail. DCL standing for Detailed Customer Ledger here. So just to provide a bit more detail on that list, that is initially based off this Detailed Customer Ledger, and I wanted to link it back to what I have in that main cash receipts report. So to show you an example, I'll take the first one that we use again. We have this entry with the entry number 9, and I wanted to be able to tie back the detailed customer ledger entry here to show the invoice it was applied to. So you can see here the applied customer ledger entry number in the detailed customer ledger. It's going to tie the payments back to their application here. So not exactly what we're looking for here. So what I ended up doing was actually a self-join. So I rejoined this detailed customer ledger to itself based on the customer ledger entry number here, so that I was able to get an Apply To customer ledger entry number, which you'll see here on this final report. So as you can see here, I've joined in, self-joined back to the detailed customer ledger entry and got this Apply To customer ledger entry number here. And you'll see it links back to our entry number in the base list on the report. So just to give you a bit more detail on how that was built, I'm going to hit that edit button again to go back into the list. And you can see here, it's another query builder list. So this time, a bit more going on here. We've got a join in our list. So I'm joining this on the customer ledger entry and then back to the customer ledger entry on the same table here. And what this does is allow me to bring in that same applied customer ledger entry number here, but this time it's going to show us the payment and transactions or invoices that this entry was applied to. So I've just renamed this field applied to in this example just to highlight that point. And another thing that I've done here is I've restricted that field to not equal 0. And that basically means that I'm just going to get all of the transactions from this side of the detailed customer ledger entry that have been applied. And it's also going to help stop duplication in my final report. A really useful thing about using Query Builder here is that this is going to actually publish a table to our Business Central environment. So it's going to mean that instead of using a custom list here where we're doing a join, it's going to have this table pre-built for us in Business Central. So each time we pull the data, we're not doing joins on the fly. So it's going to make the final report a lot more efficient and seamless in pulling back the data. So that is what the detail there on the base list. So jumping back to that detail, so just to highlight how I got here. So I'm in my Query Builder list, and then I have added a detail, set it to my other Query Builder list, and these filters are what are going to link the entries between the two systems. So I have that applied to customer ledger entry number from the right-hand side of that join, and I've set that equal to the entry number. So that's going to be the 9 in our first example here. And then I am also putting in another restriction here to not put the customer ledger entry number equal to the entry number, because that's just going to show us the initial application of that payment, and we don't want to include that. We just want to see the payment being applied to the initial entry of the invoice. So I've added just a couple of fields here from the second Query Builder list, and you can see how they're linked here. Now going back to that final report, we can see how they both tie into each other to give us that applied to information. So really useful way for customers to kind of get visibility into their payment information from Business Central, and a good example of how we can use a few different tools within Popdock, such as the Query Builder, custom details, list restrictions, to provide another way to interact with our Business Central data and solve problems for our customers. So hopefully this has sparked some ideas within you about other reports that you could use these tools on to solve problems for your customers, or maybe you could build something similar to what I've shown today. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.